The dim glow of the oil lamp flickered against the ancient parchment, casting long, trembling shadows across the room. In the heart of Istanbul, beneath the vaulted ceilings of the Topkapi Palace, a scholar's trembling hand traced the faded ink lines. The map, hundreds of years old, shouldn't have made sense. Yet there it was, a coastline too precise, too detailed to be anything but real. But how? The frozen land of Antarctica had never been charted. Certainly not like this, not in 1513. The air felt heavy, almost as if the weight of forgotten centuries pressed down, whispering secrets lost to time. Had Piri Reis truly unlocked knowledge from a civilization long vanished, or was something far more unsettling hidden in these ancient lines? As the scholar leaned in closer, the room seemed to tighten around him, and the distant echo of forgotten voices whispered from the past, raising an unshakable question: what else did they know? What else was buried, waiting to be uncovered in the heart of this mystery, and had it all been lost for a reason? The map trembled in his hands, but whether from the cold or the creeping terror of what it suggested, he couldn't tell. One thing was certain: this discovery wasn't just a map. It was the beginning of something far darker. This is the story of the mystery of the Piri Reis Map, 1513. The Piri Reis Map was discovered by chance in 1929 when a group of historians stumbled upon a neglected bundle of manuscripts in the dusty archives of the Topkapi Palace. As they unrolled the fragile parchment, the faded lines and intricate drawings immediately caught their attention. But it wasn't until one of the historians noticed a familiar outline, South America, that the true magnitude of their find began to dawn on them. Drawn in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, the map depicted regions of the world that shouldn't have been known to anyone in that era. While it included well-known territories like Europe and the Mediterranean, the map also presented an astonishingly accurate depiction of the South American coastline, and an even more baffling feature: the coastline of what many believe to be Antarctica, drawn without the ice that covers it today. This discovery ignited a wave of speculation. How could Piri Reis have mapped these regions with such precision at a time when much of the world was still being explored? How could Antarctica, an area that wouldn't be formally discovered until 1820, be depicted on a map from the early 16th century? The questions swirled like shadows in the dimly lit room where the map was first unrolled. The more the historians studied it, the more it seemed to challenge everything they thought they knew about the history of exploration and cartography. To understand the map, one must first understand its creator. Piri Reis was not just an ordinary cartographer. He was an accomplished naval commander in the Ottoman Empire, a man of both action and intellect. Born in 1465 in Gallipoli, Piri Reis had an early exposure to the seas, following in the footsteps of his uncle Kemal Reis, a legendary Ottoman admiral. Piri Reis participated in numerous naval expeditions, acquiring first-hand knowledge of maritime geography. But Piri Reis was also a scholar, and his fascination with maps and geography led him to gather information from a variety of sources. His map from 1513 was based on an extensive collection of earlier maps, including those from ancient Greek and Roman cartographers, and most intriguingly, maps from long-forgotten civilizations. Piri Reis himself claimed that some of the maps he used as references had been passed down from antiquity, and that they depicted parts of the world long before they were discovered by Europeans. But where had these maps come from? Who were the mysterious ancient cartographers who had charted the globe with such accuracy? And why had their knowledge been forgotten or deliberately erased? The most baffling feature of the Piri Reis map is its depiction of what appears to be the coastline of Antarctica, without the ice. Today, Antarctica is a frozen, inhospitable continent buried under thick ice sheets. But the Piri Reis map seems to show a detailed rendering of the continent's actual landmass, as if it had been drawn during a time when the region was ice-free. This led to one of the most controversial theories surrounding the map, that it was based on ancient charts made by a civilization that existed before the last ice age, a civilization that possessed advanced geographical knowledge and had explored Antarctica when it was still habitable. This theory, while speculative, captivated both scholars and conspiracy theorists alike. Modern science estimates that Antarctica has been covered in ice for at least 6,000 years, but some believe that before the last ice age, it may have been temperate, with lush forests and thriving ecosystems. Could an ancient, forgotten civilization have lived there, charted its coastline, and left behind maps that were later used by cartographers like Piri Reis? The possibility was tantalizing and terrifying. Ancient knowledge or alien influence? As word of the Piri Reis Map spread, so did speculation about its origins. Some historians suggested that Piri Reis had access to lost maps from the Library of Alexandria, which was said to have housed the accumulated knowledge of the ancient world before it was destroyed. Others pointed to ancient Greek scholars like Ptolemy and Eratosthenes, who had made remarkably accurate geographical calculations long before the age of exploration. But the most outlandish theory proposed that the Piri Reis Map was evidence of extraterrestrial influence. Some theorists claimed that the map was too advanced for any known civilization to have created it, and that the knowledge it contained had been passed down from alien visitors who had once explored the Earth. This idea gained traction in the 1960s and 1970s, during the height of UFO mania, when the notion of ancient astronauts captivated the public imagination. Proponents of this theory pointed to other mysterious artifacts from history, like the Nazca lines in Peru and the pyramids of Egypt, as evidence of alien contact with early human civilizations. But for all the speculation, there was no concrete proof, only the eerie mystery of the map itself, which seemed to defy explanation. While the alien theory remained on the fringe, the idea of a lost civilization capable of advanced cartography gained more serious attention. Historians and archaeologists began to explore the possibility that the Piri Reis Map was evidence of an ancient seafaring culture that had once spanned the globe. Some pointed to the legendary continent of Atlantis, which the Greek philosopher Plato described as an advanced civilization that was destroyed in a cataclysmic event. Could the Piri Reis Map be a remnant of Atlantis's knowledge, passed down through the ages by survivors who had preserved their maritime expertise? Others looked to the ancient Phoenicians, who were known for their exceptional navigation skills and extensive trade networks. Could the Phoenicians, or another forgotten civilization, have explored Antarctica before it was covered in ice? The lost civilization hypothesis, while intriguing, was still based largely on speculation. Yet the map's undeniable accuracy in depicting regions like South America and Africa left many scholars scratching their heads. How could Piri Reis have produced such a detailed and accurate map without access to advanced navigational technology or satellite imagery? In the decades since its discovery, the Piri Reis Map has continued to baffle and fascinate scholars, historians, and enthusiasts. Despite numerous studies and investigations, no definitive explanation has been found for the map's origins or its uncanny accuracy. Some believe that the map is simply a compilation of older charts, passed down through the centuries and preserved by Islamic scholars during the Middle Ages. Others remain convinced that the map is evidence of a lost civilization or a forgotten chapter in human history. Whatever the truth may be, the Piri Reis Map remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world. Its faded lines and cryptic inscriptions continue to provoke debate and inspire wonder, a testament to the limits of human knowledge and the tantalizing possibility that there are still secrets waiting to be uncovered. As the scholar in that dimly lit room realized, holding the map that day, the past is never truly gone. It lingers, waiting for us to rediscover it. But some mysteries, like the Piri Reis Map, may never be fully understood. And so the mystery of the Piri Reis Map endures, leaving us with more questions than answers, and reminding us that even in the age of modern science, the past can still cast a long and haunting shadow over the present.